Welcome to my channel. I am Aja Bennett, comedian and school psychologist, and today I want to get into the psychological impact of fame and self-worth. Over recent year, I would say we have come to see more self-inflicted deaths that has been occurring, and a lot of times in our community we do not accept or understand why these occurrences happen, and it's a mixture of processing grief, managing emotions, and understanding the psychology of self-worth and perspective, and also learning how to reach out for help, going to a counselor, therapist, psychologist to make sure that you are mentally healthy. Often in our community, we focus on our physical health and we neglect our mental health. And when a person has self inflicted wounds, they usually have indicated that this is something that they will do. This is not something that they just wake up one day and decide to do. This has been a struggle, this has been a battle, and it emphasizes the importance and significance of being conscious of those people around you, your friends and your family. I want to start off by saying my condolences to the families of Rolandale Moore, Marshawn, Marshawn Kneeland, and Lil Poppa, aka Janarius Willa. And I want to get into Lil Poppa. Lil Poppa music, I was just more recently abreast with him, and his music was very dark. It was very painful. You can tell that he was battling with drugs. You can tell that he was battling with disloyalty and that he was struggling with wanting to be present in the world. Um, and if you listen to his lyrics, it will indicate to you. And I'm like, was people like putting fire emojis and congratulations? That's hard. That's pain music, and really not getting into the person and not understanding what it was that he was going through personally, and kind of ignoring his feelings and his humanity. So if we're going to get into one of the songs at which he directly stated that this was something that he attempted to do before, it's in his song that is labeled I'm Not Alright. And let's listen to the lyrics and what he says. Stop checking on me. Now I wake up every morning, bank account on fleek. Far from healed, I'm still mourning. Can't even rest in peace. Even though niggas restfully. Why the fuck my little one had to leave? Why my granny had to leave? Whole life was full of grief, I'm still grieving. Tried to take my own life some nights. Woke up and still breathe. Wake up on the hill, far from Jacksonville, but I still need it. So there he states that he attempted to self-inflict himself several times. Lil Poppa was an artist that didn't quite make it to the mainstream, getting his true, accolades that he deserves. He was very well respected, but didn't get to the pinnacle that he believed he should have gotten to, I feel, and that he should have been at. Very underestimated, but everyone knew who he was lyrically. He leaves behind a child, and it's a very sad situation to have someone that's so full of talent be gone so soon. So my condolences to his family. Rest in peace, Big Lil Papa. Next we have Marshawn Kneeland, who was 24 years old, and allegedly they were saying that before he passed, he had texted his manager that he didn't want to go to jail. He was in a relationship with his girlfriend. Maybe they got into something because she was talking to the manager as well, and they were all fearful that he was going to do something to hurt himself. So maybe something happened within their relationship. Again, this is all speculation. I have not counseled either of these individuals, so I can't psychologically break down and be specific, and due to confidentiality I wouldn't be able to as a psychologist. But it appears that there was grief going on with him. He had lost his mother, who was his main supporter, 2 years prior to that, to accidental overdose. And so this may have weighed in heavily on his conscience, her being his main supporter. In several interviews that I watched, he was constantly saying how his mother was his world and she was his biggest number one fan. So to lose someone is a really hard thing to do and process mentally. And I feel that Marshawn Kneeland was struggling very, very much so after his mother passed away. And also as a football player, I believe that it could be attributed to CTE. And CTE is a traumatic brain congressive degenerative brain disease used by repeated head impacts, which takes effect normally with military and sports individuals that play in the sports world. Aaron Hernandez was a football player that once he passed, they were able to evaluate his brain and they concluded that he had CTE, which can cause a person to do things that they normally wouldn't do. So I believe that that was an incident. In Lil Poppa's case, he was doing drugs and he was very adamant about that. And along with depression and drugs, or depression and grief, and trying to process those elements, it's not going to equal anything good. And so it's very important to seek counseling when you feel that you are suffering in any kind of way mentally, or you're finding it difficult to process your emotions and manage them in a way that makes it easier for you to get through the day. Again, I have known friends who have committed self-inflicted wounds to the death, and they definitely said it before a time again and again that this is something they want to do. More recently, we have Rolandale Moore, who was 25 years old, that has recently passed due to self-inflicted wounds as well. He played for 4 teams in 4 years, and he was known for a tweet that he posted that said, "Note to self: be patient." So I think that the transferring of teams and teams and teams begin to play on his self worth. And when you're that high in society with wealth and with fame, you want more. Sometimes in the general world with the middle class, I like to call it working poor, we feel sometimes, well, once we get money, that all our problems will be resolved. And those who get to that pinnacle are still achieving and striving, or feel like they deserve more or want more in life. So these are the effects of being famous, and feeling like you should be further along in your career, and not being able to be at that point just yet, and not really emphasizing in that you're young. We live in a fast-paced society where everybody wants everything immediately, sooner than later. And I think that plays effect on the commonality of self-inflicted wounds as well. Again, please make sure you check on your mental health, because you are needed and you are special and you are worth it. And so we want to remind everybody, especially in the Black community, please stay prayed up and focus on your mental health, not just think about how you are physically, but your mental health. Again, please subscribe, like, comment, or share this information. Someone may need it, and I definitely can use the subscribers. So please subscribe or hype me up. I thank you for your time and thanks for watching. Again, please take care of your mental health and love yourself. And that will be all for today. Please stay tuned for more videos. Bye.